Ранее в играх-хрониках.
Hard to explain, really. Come on, let's find somewhere to sit. It'll be easier to talk that way.
Thank you, Meldor. And thank you for not changing your mind. It could happen any minute now. Just take a seat and wait. And I warn you, this is not going to be pleasant.
So, are you ready for our little journey? It seems that Riverville's Myra's injured, so we'll have to go by foot. Quite the sight, isn't it? It's moments like these that make life so damn worth living. This place was once a trading post, in case you're wondering, but it's been deserted ever since the isolation.
Enderal Forgotten Stories Special Edition. Знакомство с магами Нерима. Это что такое? Еще один скелет. Около города. Ну, допустим. Ладно. Бывает всякое.
There it is. Ark. Majestic, isn't it?
Ну, согласен, да. И довольно большой. Ты охотник, правильно? Как дела в дикой местности?
Don't ask. The wolves act as if they've been cursed, attacking anything and anyone on sight, and killing game they don't even eat afterwards. This must be the red madness everyone's talking about. Oh, blazes. Where's this supposed to lead? Farewell.
Да, волки здесь озверели в край.
Oh my. Another exhausted soul, aren't you? Are you sure you want to keep going like that? I mean, like that?
Что ты имеешь в виду? Прошу прощения.
Oh, come on! Don't you think I see how you're slaving away? You can hardly put one foot before the other. Look how exhausted you are. And this armor. Whew, it must weigh tons. Thank Malphus, I have just the right thing for you. A way to ease your travels. A mount. And you know what? Today's your lucky day. If you agree to help me out with a little problem of mine, I'll give you one for free.
Проблемой какого рода?
Nardolf, a troll. For 2 months now, every night, I've been hearing this horrible, bloodthirsty grunting near the farm. The guard says I'm only imagining it, but trust me, I've seen enough of the world to know troll noises when I hear them. When it all started, the grunting came from back in the forest, but it's gotten closer each night, and I'm sure that thing is out for my animals. So, what do you say? You kill Nardolf for me, and in return, you will get one of my very best donkeys for free. Whirlwind. And believe me, he lives up to his name.
Откуда, черт возьми, взялось это имя? Генералдаль.
What? That doesn't ring a bell. Noraldolf? As in the Noraldolf? From the fairy tale, The Seraph and the Beast. Considering how horrible the grunting sounds, that name seemed fitting to me. But call him what you want, it doesn't matter. As long as you kill him.
Хорошо, я посмотрю, что можно сделать. Есть идеи, как его найти?
Oh, that should be pretty easy. Just wait until shortly after midnight and then scout the area. Eventually, you'll hear that grunting I told you about. Then just find out where it comes from. And needless to say, be careful. You look like you can take care of yourself, otherwise I wouldn't have asked. But these beasts are not to be underestimated.
Вот это я понимаю, довольная улыбка.
And here we are. Welcome to Ark. I've got some things to take care of here. So let's meet at the market once you're ready to meet Grandmaster Tealor Orenthiel and his mages in person, alright?
Теалор Орантиаль был предыдущим великим магистром Святого Ордена. Мне казалось, что он был в заточении в Нериме.
By his own son, Nerazil, yeah. But roughly 2.5 years ago, he suddenly appeared back in Enderal, accompanied by a handful of mages who once fought against him in the Great War. Weird, I know, but that's how it was.
Позволь уточнить, самый преданный слуга рожденных светом возвращается в Enderal в компании своих бывших заклятых врагов?
He did, yeah. It seems that something happened between him and them that made them sort out their issues, you could say. They're allies now, and frankly, nobody quite knows why. You can imagine what kind of uproar that caused among the Holy Order itself. But in the end, Orenthiel got things his way. You can say what you want about him, but he never lost his charisma, that's for sure.
Так это значит, что злейшие враги рожденных светом теперь заодно с их самыми преданными слугами? Это странно.
You're telling me. But apparently their alliance has something to do with this red madness. I guess we'll see what happens.
Можешь рассказать мне о городе побольше? Например, где найти новое снаряжение?
Oh, sure, I should have thought of that. Pardon me. Alright then. Ark is divided into 5 districts, not counting the harbor. The foreign quarter, where we are right now, the marketplace, the nobles' quarters, the south quarter, and the temple. If you're looking to gear up, I guess the market would be the place to go. You can find anything there, from food to weapons, armor, and whatever else you need. If it's magical supplies and alchemy you need, however, you best try your luck in the nobles' quarters. But prepare yourself for some dismissive looks. Up there's also the bathing house and the theater, in case you have the coin for that. Finally, there's the temple, which is hard to overlook. Normal citizens are not permitted to enter it, and from up there, the Holy Order reigns over this country. But if all goes according to plan, you'll soon see it from the inside. And then there's the Undercity.
Этот город звучит не очень дружелюбно.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it isn't. The Undercity is a cluster of caves directly beneath our feet. And down there is where the poor and the sick live, not to mention those that the Order doesn't like to see in their neat, pretty streets in the upper city. Not a place I'd recommend you visit, at least not unless you're looking for mischievous things.
Хорошо, думаю, я разберусь.
Great. Then see you later and enjoy your stay.
My sir, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together.
Что вы хотите?
Well, it is actually quite simple. But since you were kind enough not to just ignore me and walk by as the others did, I would like to show my gratitude for that first.
You travel a lot, don't you? I can tell by the mud on your boots. Here, one of these books might come in handy on your journeys. Which one do you prefer?
Что это за книги?
They are, crafting books. I suppose you can call them that. They contain some valuable knowledge about the arts such as smithing, alchemy, or even lockpicking. Not that I would ever imply you do such a thing except in an old ruin, but you get the picture. Splendid! Say, would you happen to be interested in earning yourself some more coins? Or, even better, more books like those? There is something I need help with.
Допустим. Что тебя беспокоит?
I have a problem, and this problem is called Celia, which happens to be my sister. Where should I start? You know, I am one of those people who wasn't given everything by fate. Quite the contrary, in fact. When I was a child, the village I grew up in, Foamville, was ambushed by bandits. And both my father and my mother died during the attack.
Мои соболезнования.
Thank you, but it's ancient history now. Fact is, my sister and I dealt with this event differently. We managed to flee the attack and make it to Ark, where the guards, of course, threw us into the Undercity. But while I tried to honor my father's heritage by using the little I could from our savings by setting up a business, she preferred to wallow in her misery instead. She got to know the wrong people and has, since then, never done a single bit of honest work. Frankly, she's a dust addict. Day and night she does nothing else but rot in those drinking holes in the Undercity and blows what little money she makes on her drage. Now, of course, she is still my sister, so all of these years I paid her rent so she doesn't have to sleep on the streets. However, things have changed. Recently she started using our father's heritage to pay for her addiction, and I will not accept that.
Но ты же мог побеседовать со стражей об этом.
I certainly could, but the day a guard voluntarily goes into the Undercity is the day a Vartia will become a barber. The Undercity belongs to Relata, and Celia knows that, which is why my hands are tied.
Чтобы внести ясность. Она тратит твои деньги, чтобы покупать наркотики?
Well, technically it's our money. Basically, it was a share our father had in a small business here. He was so proud of it, you wouldn't believe it. Luckily enough, I managed to save that paper from the bandits and turned it in at the bank a few years ago, after I realized how valuable it was. Since then, it has turned into quite a formidable sum. Nothing huge, of course, but enough to save my business from bankruptcy. You understand? In theory, it is our money, but without me she would probably have sold it for a bottle of ale, and I won't let her spit on our father's heritage that way.
Ясно. А почему бы тебе просто не поговорить с ней?
Oh, believe me, I did. Which is why she simply hid the key to our safe in the bank somewhere that I couldn't find it. So, long story short, this is where you come in. I want you to get her to give me that key. How you do it is up to you. But if you succeed, it won't be to your disadvantage.
Ладно, я помогу тебе. Где я могу ее найти?
Anywhere there's rats and dust. But she spends most of her time in the False Dog in the Undercity. One of those dumps I told you about. Just come back to me once you've found something.
Sir?
Oi, you there.
Don't look at me like that. Looking for trouble, eh?
You're a foreigner, aren't you? I wish I'd have crossed the Red Sea once, or seen Kira, the Grand Bazaar. Ah, well.
Ух ты. Вот это акробатка.
Hello.
Так, ну сначала с Джеспаром надо завершить дельце.
Hungry for arcane secrets? I have books, scrolls, potions, anything for friends.
Вот это гомон. Действительно рынок.
Yes?
Who are you?
Sorry. I know. I can't sing. Well, look who's arrived. Did you have any problems finding your way around? This city can be quite a maze if you don't know it.
Мне привычны крупные города.
Right, you're from Ostian. I almost forgot. They're quite fascinating, these places, aren't they? You can climb high, and you can fall just as deep. And every place vibrates with life.
Это правда.
Here, put this on. And before you ask, yes, it's necessary. Just trust me.
Cherish, oh brothers and sisters.
I've got just
Cherish
what a weary
and
traveler
thank the Lord
needs.
for his mercy.
Ну пойдем. Как-то это смешно выглядит.
That's it. And why is it Malphas who carries the Sun Temple on his back? Isn't that just...
Мы на вершину идем.
Yes? Usually those gifted with magic have to report their talent to the Order, and then pass a ritual that teaches them how to deal with their magic. The journey to the water is what they call it. Once they've passed that, the fever reduces to an endurable level, and new arcanists have their names registered in some kind of holy book. But there are other ways to get rid of the fever, and I hope my employer can tell you about them.
Я тоже на это надеюсь.
Okay, almost there.
Уже почти вершина, да? Ну да.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here. Pathlessness, whatever.
Это временно.
Where is this supposed to
Вот это вид. Еще лучше, чем в горном перевале было.
Hold it, my sir. No civilians beyond this point without explicit permission. Who are you and what leads you to this holy place?
Business. I'm Jespara Dalveric, and I work for the Nerimese mages.
Oh, right. The mercenary. And who's your companion?
Marijo de Luna from Ostian, esteemed holder of de Luna's Empire of Tender Fragrance, the most prestigious perfumery in all of Vin. Archmagister Marigil sent for him. Didn't he tell you?
The Archmagister. Well, that does sound like him. Fair enough, you may pass. But show this place the respect it deserves, mercenary. You too, Meister de Luna.
You have my word, fair lady. Thank you.
Неплохие доспехи. Да и меч тоже. Хоть и потертый, но неплохой.
Stay right behind me. It's not far.
Заходим или нет?
Well, that went better than expected.
Империя нежных ароматов Мария де Луны.
Hey, it worked, didn't it? That's all that matters. Nobody will suspect someone who's already in the temple. Anyway, I think it's about time I tell you a little bit more about this employer of mine. His name is Constantine Firespark, and he's one of Narathzil Orenthiel's former followers, which the new Grand Master, Tealor Orenthiel, brought here by ship about 2 years ago. That means he's one of the former arch-enemies of the Order. They usually wear green, while the Order wears white or red. That should make it easy for you to tell them apart. Firespark's pretty much the eldest of Narathzil's mages, and quite well versed in magic, at least from what I've heard. Plus, he's a very gentle and likable fellow, which is why even the keepers like having him around. Let's hope he can tell us a thing or two about these visions, and help you get rid of the fever. Come, follow me.
Идем, идем. Поговорим с твоим нанимателем.
All right, here we are. Hang on.
No. That's not how you do it.
That's what they are.
Blast it! I'm just being careful. We
Like
have to.
heck we do. Give me that thing, now. Ouch.
Это что было?
Blasted, blistering blazes. That's what you get for working with fumblers. I told you, we should
Master
be
Firespark.
careful. What? Now who the heck are you? Can't an old man have a moment to himself?
I just can't.
You hired me. The Magister, don't you remember?
Oh, right. Joseph the Scrounger. So why are you here? Had any luck?
Jespar. And yeah, we did find something.
Suggest you first of all tell me when I allowed you to drag your drinking mates up here. Do you need me to explain the meaning of the words highly and confidential to you?
I'm sure there's a lot you can explain to me, but let's save that for later. This particular fellow over here needs your help, to be frank. Arcane fever.
Is that so? And what exactly has that got to do with me? Let the Keepers and their holy rituals take care of it. What is it with the costume, anyway?
This man's magic is different, Meister. Just feel his aura and you'll see it. Plus, he's from Nerim, just as you are.
Well, all right then, for nostalgia's sake. I really hope you're not wasting my time, though. Working with these religious buffoons is bound to make any rational thinking person go bonkers. Anyway, that chair over there. Take a seat, and I'll have a look at that fever of yours. All right, then. This will tickle a little. You're right. This aura does feel different. Complex somehow and powerful. And do you really want to tell me you've only recently discovered that talent of yours? With that aura, I'm surprised that you haven't turned into an Obaya by now. Fine. Well, that is, we will help you. But first, tell me everything. How you got that magic, and how you met that Scrounger. I see. Regarding this vision thing, I think that your mind simply played a trick on you there. Not that it's much of a surprise, considering what you've been through. Actually, you were quite lucky that the sudden outburst of your glance didn't blow your head right off.
Внезапно прояснившийся взгляд.
By all that's holy, I won't start playing your tutor now. If you don't know about the basic functioning of magic, then read something from Ballador Goldenstein.
The glance on the sea of eventualities. Alongside, but apart from the reality we're in right now, exist countless other realities, in which some events have different outcomes, so to speak. A version of this very same room, for example, with the very same people in it, only that Meister Firespark's beard is on fire. And what defines an Arcanist, someone capable of magic, is that he or she can see those other realities and let parts of them come true.
Well, look at that, Jasper. You surprise me.
That's what I'm being paid for.
How powerful an Arcanist is depends on 3 factors. How far away are the eventualities that he can see, how well he can bring parts of them into our reality, and finally, how well his mind can handle seeing other realities simultaneously with ours. Lighting a candle is easier than calling a meteor from the sky, to speak plain Inal, but as I said, read Goldenstein if you're interested in the topic. I'm not going to waste any time with lectures.
Еще раз. Я не просто вижу эти видения. Они ощущаются иначе, как реальность.
Well, if that's what you want to believe, go for it. I, in any case, have never come across such a phenomenon in over 50 years of studying magic. And now we should...
It all begins with the dreams.
What the blasted blistering blazes? Does this room look like the bosom of a whore to you? Or what makes you think you can go around touching anything you get your fingers on? These documents are confidential, for heck's sake. I knew it was a mistake to hire a thug like you. Lashery always had a weakness for...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you telling me something about dreams that led you and Tealor Renthiel here, didn't you, Meiser? And you told me that in this vision of yours, the Veiled Woman said this. It all begins with the dreams.
What? Is that true?
Да, как ни странно.
Oh. Then this near-death experience you had before you woke up on the shore. Tell me again, what exactly did you see in it? A room?
Сверкающий белый свет и обугленные тела. Но их плоть была не натуральной, серой. И отовсюду доносились эти голоса.
Well, this is strange indeed. Anyway, for now all that matters is that we get that magic of yours under control. Whatever you clairvoyanced back there is of no use to us if you're dead as a doornail in a couple of months.
И как мы можем это сделать? Обуздать мою магию.
Well, that's usually a plodding process. The fever you feel is a result of your mind not being able to handle all of these possibilities, so to speak. The ritual the Enderalians practice to get the glance under control is called the Journey to the Water. Put frankly, it means 1 year of hour-long meditation, bland food, and abstinence from anything that makes life worth living. In due time, the Arcanist then learns to filter these other realities from ours, and the fever gets less and less. Anyhow, luckily enough, we Nerimes know of a way to quicken that process. A shortcut, if you will. I'm not capable of performing it, but another one of us is. Her name is Lashery, and you should seek her out as soon as possible.
Срезать путь? Ведь есть причина, из-за которой это путешествие к воде занимает так много времени.
There is indeed, and this reason is called ignorance. The Order's rituals haven't changed since the Lightborn slipped out of their cradles, and the Keepers do their best to keep anything progressive out of their country. But please, if you're up for a year of austerity and stern-faced magisters scolding you, go for it. I really don't care.
Хорошо, я пройду этот ваш ритуал. Где я могу найти эту Лашири?
She's currently in a ruin called Old Rationgrad, not far from Ark. Just tell her that I sent you. Give me that map of yours. Okay, now you'd have to be a total idiot to miss it. I recommend leaving for the ruin straight away. And you, Joseph, you're going to come with me and show me what your trip to the Sun Coast brought forth. Hopefully, more than a bottle of honey wine and a hangover.
Quite a character, isn't he? But I like him somehow. Here, I owe you this for your help back in Riverville. And in case you're in the mood for a mug of ale and a good chat, just drop by the Dancing Nomad in the Stranger's Quarter. I'll get myself a room there for the time being. With all that said, good luck mastering your magic, my friend. I'll see you around.
Спасибо за просмотр. Продолжение следует.